Welcome to the party, you guys. Today I want to go over some work with some more formatting. Today we're going to take a look at hyperlinks. And I want to make sure that we know how to make a hyperlink. So we're going to link to a page out on the web, and we're also going to link to a page local on our computer. And also I want to teach you guys how to open up a link in a different window, so it doesn't actually take over the window that you're currently working on. And later on when we start talking about frames, this is probably going to be very relevant, and there's actually going to be a lot more things that you will learn about it, but for our purposes right now, this is going to be fine. So the first thing I want to do is find an example of what I'm talking about, and I believe if we open up the MSN website, if I click this, let's see what happens if I click on News and Video. You see how it opens up in the same browser? So let's say if I was looking at some other stuff on the other document, you know, it's already gone. I had to push back in order to get back, and my internet connection is dragging ass today. So let me click back if it allows me to. Hello? No. Click back. Okay. Now we're back here, and if I click on this link, watch what happens. It opens up in a brand new window. So I mean that's pretty cool. I mean, like, if you have links on your website and you want to kind of, you know, shift them off somewhere else, this is cool. And that way, if you close this window, the initial website, ooh, a pop-up window, gotta love those. The initial website that you were looking at is still there. So let's learn how to do it. So the first thing we want to do is open up Context, and then I'm also going to open up the folder with our web documents in it. Let me show you guys a cool little secret. Right click, open with, Context. Isn't that cool? Alright. If you did file open and then found the file, it would have done the same thing, but I just kind of cheated a little bit. So now that I have our skeleton loaded, file, save as. This is going to be lesson 6. 06.htm. So the first thing I want to do is do a simple hyperlink. So I will actually type here, simple hyperlink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a hyperlink first to a website, second to a picture. And then this is going to be in the same window. So in order to start a hyperlink, what we have to do is create a hyperlink tag, which begins with an A, so it's an A tag. And then after that, we need to actually tell the browser what we want the hyperlink to be. So we tell it that by doing href equals, then in quotation marks we actually type what the location is. So let's do http://www.google.com. End quote. End the tag. We're not done from here, folks. After that, we have to type the text that we want to appear on the screen. If I save this out as lesson 6 and then I open up my lesson 6, we'll see that there's nothing here. So I actually have to, this is the hidden part. Now I want the actual web browser to display something. Click here for google.com. And of course, all you Googlers know that I want to close this tag, right? Because if I don't, everything that I type below is going to be a hyperlink. And we just want click here for google.com to be a hyperlink. So I save that, refresh it, click here for google.com, when we click it, it takes me there. Isn't that beautiful? And let's go to images, and let's do a search for, hot chicks. Oh my goodness. There are some hot chicks on here. Some of this is probably a bit X-rated. I'm going to go back. I'm going to be safe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this picture. I'm going to right-click on it. I'm going to there we go. And if I slide down into properties, here is the actual link to the logo. Let's highlight that. Let's right click. Let's copy it. Alright, now if I click cancel that, go back to context, let's create another link. href equals quote, and then I'm going to hold down control and press V, pasted my link in there. And now I'm going to close that, right? Click here for the Google logo. And now we're going to end the tag by closing it. Now what's going to happen if we run this? Let's check it out. Save it, open up, not Google, click back, back. It's all got to print on the same line. So we need to have a line break in here. As a matter of fact, let's have a line break after this. And let's set a line break in between these two. That way everything's nice and separate. Yeah. Save it. Click here for google.com. Takes me to Google. Click back. Click here for the Google logo. It's going to load the logo in here. So that's pretty cool. Now why don't we go ahead and we'll do this exact same thing, except for we'll have them open up in their own browser. So I'm going to click back on here. And I'm going to highlight everything I just did. Right click, copy. Go down and then paste it. We will have, of course we need to have a line break here, right guys? Let's make 2 of them. Save it real quick and make sure it looks all pretty. Okay. So now we have exactly the same thing we just typed up there, except for now I'm going to add something in here, and it's called a target. Right before the href, we're going to have target equals, and then to open it up in its own web browser, underscore, which is shift and then the minus button, underscore blank, B-L-A-N-K, end quote, and then we'll do a space. What this is doing is it's saying, here's a link, I want you to open it up in a brand new browser session, and I want, once it opens, I want this to be in the location bar, and I want this to be the text that's displayed on the current browser, and then I want it to end. Save it, refresh it. So now this link right here will actually take us to a new window, and this link will not, because I haven't told it to yet. Let's go back. Let's do it again here. We'll do target equals blank. Save it, open it, refresh it. So now this takes us to a new window. Close it. And this takes us to a new window. Close it. This doesn't. And this does not either. We are kicking some major ass. Now let's say on our local machine we want to grab a link. So we don't want to have to go out on the web. Very simple. We have to make sure though that we have either the exact path to the file or that we have the file in the same directory. So what I want to do is I want to mess with the files that we have in our directory here. Now in the way beginning we created this index. And then we got lesson 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess index would be lesson 1, right? So let's do a series of links for all the lessons that we've learned. So let's erase everything we got here. And we'll write a quick program. We'll do H1, all my HTML lessons /H1. And then what we want to do is we want to create a list, a numbered list. Trying to incorporate all the things that we've done here. And then we'll do the list, and then we'll close the list, and we'll type lesson 1, copy that, 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, lesson 6. And then we'll just change these to lesson 1. Lesson 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Save it and refresh it. Okay, so we have a numbered list of all the lessons we've learned. Now, let's change this from a numbered list to a bulleted list. Okay, so there's all the lessons. Now here's what we want to do. I want to make each one of these a hyperlink that will take us to the lesson that we learned. And it's all in the same directory, so all we have to do is this. Right here where lesson 1 is, let's go to the beginning of it, right? And we'll create our A tag. href, whoa, ref equals, and then I believe it was index.htm, end quote, and then we'll close that off, and then it will type lesson 1, and then we have to close it with a /a. Save it, refresh, here's our link, let's click it, and it took us there. Click back and we're back here. So let me just recap what I did. This is the code that I added in between the list. What I did is I said, let's create a list, or let's create a link, and then I want the hyperlink to be this. I want this to be displayed on the screen. Let's do that for all the lessons. A, href, equals, I believe, lesson, I think it was a capital L, lesson 02.htm, end quote, that, go to the end, /a, save it, check it out, refresh, beautiful, let's keep moving. I'm going to cheat, I'm going to copy this, hold Control and press C to copy, paste it, paste it, paste it, paste it. So we got lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, and I believe we're in lesson 6, so why don't we erase lesson 6, because we don't want that to be messing up our stuff. So we got 2, 3, 4, lesson 5. So this is good. All we have to do now is close all these out. /a, copy it. God, I'm so lazy. Control V, paste it. Save it, open it, refresh it. All of our lessons here. We got lesson 1, it works. We got lesson 2, it works. 3, couldn't do any better. 4, fantastic. And 5, awesome. Now let's create another list that opens up in its own window. So let's copy this list. Right click, copy, then below it, hold Control, press V to paste it. Right here, what are we going to do? Target equals underscore blank. Copy the target. The reason I wanted to show you this in a list, and it might be a little bit confusing, is because you can throw hyperlinks anywhere you want to, and this is an example of that. We're sticking it inside of a list. As long as we have the text that we want to be listed as the hyperlink, it doesn't really matter. We're just saying, in this list, I want a link. Save it, bring it back out, and refresh it. 1 opens up, perfect. 2 opens up, perfect. 3, 4, 5. Cool. Awesome. We could have done this simpler. And as a matter of fact, let me do it simpler for anybody that's a little bit confused. I'm going to erase our list. So our list is going to be sayonara. It's gone. I can't believe I'm such a nice guy for doing this. If you guys figure out an easier way to do this, give me a call, let me know. This is taking a long time. Alright, save this out and let's see what she looks like. Nice and pressed up against each other. That's perfect, you gotta like that. Let's have a line break in between the two. This is a little bit simpler to look at, that's why I wanted to erase everything. They're all on the same line, they're all links. If we wanted to have them all up and down, we would have a line break at the end of each one, like this. Refresh. So I'm going to do a line break for these ones. BR, BR, BR. Alright, I'm going to save this code out. What that did is it made these up and down and then these left and right. The links all still work just fine. Okay, so let's look at the code real quick and then we'll conclude the lesson. All that we did here is we created hyperlinks. I'm going to take this down to the next line so we can isolate the hyperlink line. Here's a hyperlink. That's all that you got to do. href, and then we got to do in quotation marks where we want it to go, where we want it to display, and then close the tag. Cool? Alright. I think that's pretty straightforward, and go ahead and practice with your hyperlinks. See you again.